The Cup Adventurers present The Trials and Tribulations of the First-Time Cup User, Part 1.
This is very exciting. One of my friends, I convinced her to go on a different type of birth control, which is the ring, the Nuva ring.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was on it before, and she was like, oh, it's actually very similar. If you're able to insert and remove that, then this should be no problem for you. And I was like, okay. Oh, that is a fool move. It is not the same at all.
So the ring, that just goes, what, around your cervix?
It's literally just, if you imagine like a little plastic ring, like a hula hoop but tinier. And you could just bend that to make it as flat as possible, and once you just stick it in there and then let go, then it'll unfold, right? Once you let go.
And that worked fine for you originally?
It was fine. And then removing it, like since it's a circle, I kind of just like hook a fingertip under there and pull it out, and it's fine. This is not that.
Does the ring prevent like a...
Just contraceptive. Yeah. And then I stopped using that a while ago, so I was just like, oh, it was easy back then, so why not try this cup thing? Because I wanted to be, more environmentally friendly, less waste, and also the way my friend described it, you never really think about it when you use like tampons and pads, but when you're using a pad, you're just sitting on a bloody sponge for like hours. I'm like, yeah, that's gross. That's gross.
It's not fun.
You're right.
Yeah.
Let's try a different way.
So, your problem with the cup was not one of my problems, which was that I wasn't sure where my cervix was. That wasn't an issue for you, I'm assuming.
That actually, on the first go, I was like, maybe my cervix is somewhere that I don't actually know. So, like maybe it's really high up or something, because that's when I started. I did a little bit of research, but then I was like, let's just try it. So then afterwards, when it was stuck, then I was like frantically Googling everything, like, oh, maybe there's a high one, a low, I don't know. So, what about you? What did you find out? What was the problem?
Just to really briefly go over my issues, I wasn't sure where my cervix was. I looked up all the tips on how to find it, still wasn't sure I had found it, and I feel like all of my problems can be summed up by the fact that apparently my vagina has both the width and depth of a garden hose.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Garden hose.
I'm so sorry.
And I can't tell if my cervix is like at the end of that or like at some weird angle that I could also not discover. So why don't you start with, you told us like why you made the decision to try it out. Which one did you go for? Tell me like which one you have, sort of describe it a little bit.
It is the Lena cup.
What's it called?
Lena?
Oh.
Yeah, so this is the Lena cup. This is the one that my friend also used, and then I liked that it came in a pack of 2 in case I needed different sizes. So I was like, okay, there's a small one and a big one, because I didn't want to be stuck with one that didn't fit. So I'm like, all right, options.
Yeah. Which one did you end up experimenting with first?
Small.
Did it has that turned out to be a good decision, or have you had to?
So far, good decision in terms of size. Flow and things, I'm like, I don't know yet. We'll see.
Okay. So what, like, is it working? I guess is my question. Like, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's doing what it's supposed to do.
That's a really good start, because like that didn't even happen with me. So
No.
Yeah.
Why did you stop the ring to begin with?
That was mostly because of an insurance thing.
Damn American health system.
It's the American health system, so I ran out of insurance, so I just had no insurance, so I was like, alright, let's just try without and see how it goes. So.
Alright, well that's just the dystopia we live in. Would you feel more comfortable just starting at the beginning and diving in, and we'll ask questions as they come along?
Sure.
Alright, okay, so just go for it. Just regale us with your trials and tribulations.
Well, okay. I started off being like, okay, my period starts off usually like pretty light. So I was like, alright, this is a good time to start. in case, if it all of a sudden started flowing and I'm like trying to stick my fingers in there, and then anyway, so I was like, okay, this is a good time to start. First of all, experimenting with the different folds on trying to get it in there. I tried what it looks like, it's called a C fold. Not a good fold for me.
Yeah, oh, same. Yeah, it did not work. Did you end up doing the punch down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So it's like it's a cup, right? But since it's a malleable, it's like flexible. So you kind of just smoosh it so that the top is in the shape of a C, I guess. But it's still a little bit too girthy.
Yeah. Girthy is the word I'd use.
Yeah, because when you try to get in there, because tampons are, if you use tampons are pretty narrow, right? So this is definitely bigger than a tampon. And then I experienced, I experienced some pain because it's just straight off the bat. It's like this girthy thing, and you're just kind of shoving it in there, and you're like, ouch.
Well, and your cervix can be pretty sensitive from my own personal experience with completely different things.
Right. Right. Especially like when you're on your period, it always fluctuates, right? So it could be
even throughout this, since I'm still in the middle of my period right now. The pain is mostly at the opening. There's a lot of finger holding that thing, so all the fingers can't really get in there either. And then it's just really painful at the opening where I was like, ouch. So then I kind of let go the first time, and I was like, oh no. And then the fold, yeah.
Oh, did it like? I'm so sorry. Like, there's no way to say. Did it just like smack you right on the clit? Because that's what I
it just opened, and then it was really wide there, and I was like, oh crap, let's just go all in. So I had to shove it in there.
Oh god. Sounds so violent.
Because I was like, well, it's already halfway. I'm not gonna pull it out. It's already mostly in. Just push it the rest of the way in.
So like with the punch fold, and like to explain what that looks like, instead of taking, the round cup opening and you're basically flattening it and then just curving it into a C, the punch down is just you sort of push down on one edge with your thumb, and the entire thing forms a sort of conical, one could say butt plug shape.
Yes.
So were you still experiencing pain even when you were doing it that way?
So so the second time when I put it in, I did the punch down fold. It was much better, although it's still, I don't know if it's like the angle or what it is. I also have weak hands, so like my finger strength is not great to like hold on to the fold.
Oh.
My wrist and my fingers, so then just at that angle, trying to just push it up in there, because when you bend your wrist, your fingers automatically want to straighten. This is like a therapy thing, right? So then when my wrist is bent like that, I was like, oh, this isn't right.
Well, and the other thing is like you're already bent in half trying to get to a place that you're not naturally inclined to shove your whole hand up.
Exactly.
In such a position. Much easier to do to someone else than to yourself.
Yeah.
But putting it in is fine after a while. I think after the first time, then the second time, then because I was paranoid about it leaking or something, so once it's in there, I kind of just like stick a finger and just kind of go around the cup to make sure it kind of feels like it's cup shaped and
right. That's what they say. If you're getting any leakage, make sure, because there's also little air holes right around the top.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that they're all almost suctioned on. You want to make sure it's unfolded in there so you can like run a finger around the outside and make sure it's all working. So after the first couple of times, did the discomfort putting it in mostly go away?
It's taking it out that is. It's again, I will say it's better, but man, that first time I tried to take it out, I was sitting in the bathroom for like 25 minutes, just sweating my butt off because I was like, oh my god, I can't get
Were
it.
you worried that it was gonna fall into the toilet?
No, I just really couldn't reach. I just couldn't reach.
Oh my god!
I was like, I know it's not lost. I can feel it in there, but
Is it
I just could not get it out. And then me panicking, being like, I hope no one needs the bathroom because I'm going to be in here a little while longer.
Oh my! Were you doing all of this at home? Like, were all of your experiences at least in like a safe personal environment?
Yep, all at home.
Okay,
So
that's
I was
good.
fine.
That's very good. The first time I tried to take it out was at work, and that was a distinct
Oh
mistake.
my god.
Oh my
Why
god.
did you do that? That's one of the things that my other friend told me too, is that if you time it right, you shouldn't have to do it in public unless you're out for a very long time.
Yes.
So that's what I was holding on to. Like, okay, because you can wear it for 8 to 12 hours.
Wow, and it holds like that much blood? Like, how much is it designed to hold?
The cup I have, the small one, it says it holds 25 milliliters, and the large one is 30.
And that's part of the whole, because everyone, even the people who love it, do say that there's kind of like a steep learning curve. And one of the things you have to learn is that, like, it will say it has this many milliliters for like somebody with a heavy or a light flow, but we all have different definitions of what that is and what that means.
Yes.
And like, we've never measured the milliliters of our period blood. Like, we don't know, you know.
Like 1 month you're like, oh yeah, so much more than usual, 15 milliliters, you know.
Exactly. Like, none of us know that.
No.
So it's just sort of, you have to approximate, and they do say, like, when you start to get leakage, it probably means that it's overflowing, or you need a bigger cup size, or you have a really heavy flow or whatever, but it's part of the learning curve that they expect.
Yep.
I was really lucky, and the first time, luckily enough, I wasn't as overconfident as I might have been, and I was wearing like panty liners underneath.
Oh, I've been the whole time,
and
just in case.
Yeah, absolutely, that 100% saved my life that day.
Oh, good. Oh my god.
That just, again, like, we'll go into like the Rorschach splatter on the bathroom stall door at work. Like, we'll go into the whole thing.
How many times have you used yours? Like, how many periods, I guess?
I tried it on and off for about 6 months.
Wow.
Like, I did not give up. I read the blogs, I watched the videos,
So what was it? When I was just Googling the instructions, and I think, so all the cups are different, actually, because I was comparing the instructions on mine versus what it says for, like, the Diva cup or something like that. Well, where's it? Okay, whatever. One of the cups was saying don't use, like, the stem to pull it out entirely, because there's, like, some suction and some pull. So I did experience that a little bit, where I tried, because I couldn't grab it in there, so I was like, alright, there's this little long stem thing, let me pull that out, but then it was creating some sort of a pinching inside, so I was like, okay, nope, that hurts, not doing that.
And just for reference, a lot of these places, they say pull it lightly by the stem to get it down to the entrance, and then with 2 fingers just pinch the bottom of the cup to break the suction and pull it out. And that's exactly how simple they make it sound.
Yep. So mine, if I read the instructions exactly, okay, hold the base of your cup, and shimmy your cup from side to side while guiding it out. Keep your cup upright to avoid spills.
But don't you have to break the suction first? I'm confused.
So you're supposed to, like, the pinching of the base is how you break the suction, supposedly. But anyway, so I'm on the toilet for like 20 minutes trying to be like, okay. I was trying to do this one-handed because I'm like, well, how am I gonna?
Well, because how many hands are you gonna fit up there?
Exactly. So as you're pulling the stem, and I got it somewhere close to, like, where I could reach the base, but as soon as I let go of the stem, it just suctions back in, and I'm like, oh god damn it, all the progress.
It just suctioned back in.
It just goes back in.
It goes right back into you. Like, you get it to the entrance, and it goes like right back up, like a vacuum.
What? Okay. God.
So I'm, like, doing a lot of deep breathing, like, okay, let's try to relax. Maybe it's the tension, but actually, as I was reading later on Reddit, they were like, oh, you have to bear down to, like, push it towards the entrance, and I was like,
yeah,
really?
like you're giving
Doesn't
birth.
That make it harder? I was getting all these mixed messages, like, no, you need to relax, but also you have to push it. So I'm like, oh my god, which one do I do? And then I kept trying to, okay, screw the stem, let's just try to stick 2 fingers in there and, like, just pinch it to pull it out. And I was just like, which 2 fingers? I tried the finger and the thumb, but if you put your finger and your thumb together, there's only like a centimeter or 2 of it being narrow before it widens. The crap, like, that is wide, okay? I can't get all of that in there. It is so much. So I was like pinching hair, pinching skin, and I was like, ouch, ouch.
Oh my
hurting
god.
myself.
My biggest revelation during this entire thing is that I now understand why lesbians have short fingernails. Like, that distinct thought went through my head.
You'd think it would be common sense, like, oh, I should have cut my nails, but then I was like, ouch!
No, but apparently we're dumb bitches, because, like, I didn't think of it either.
Yeah. I didn't. And then as I'm in there trying to, my thumb is stupid or something because it does not have less sensory nerves. But as I'm trying to get in there, it feels like it has less sensory nerves. So I'm pinching the crap out of myself with this thumb.
Yeah.
So I try to give up and use like middle and forefinger. That does nothing. I try Google and they're like, oh, I just use the middle and forefinger to just like push it in the side and scoop it out. When I tried that the second time, it was full that time, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Big mistake. Oh my god, what a murder all over my hands.
Did it look like that bit in an anime where like a character just punches straight through somebody's chest?
Yeah.
And the hand on the other
Yes,
side.
it did. It was just...
Alright, so we're what, like 15 minutes in? What do you do next?
Yes. Well, eventually, as I'm hyperventilating,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, left hand holding onto the stem. I reach down there, I'm holding onto it, while then the right hand pinches the base and then pulls it out, and that just whoop, all the way out. And then there is a little bit of, I don't want to say like pain, but a little bit of discomfort. But it's a two-handed process right now.
It's a two-handed process. See, I'm like trying to imagine, but this was just the steep learning curve part, right? Now you do it one-handed?
Nope. So
Sorry.
no, that's okay. That's about it. So I'm still in the learning curve part. It's easier to get out now, but I'm still using this two-handed method. I don't know how I can do it with one hand.
Have you ever tried doing it in the shower and that actually gives you the room to like crouch on the floor basically as if you're giving birth to a child in the olden days?
Do you recommend it?
So, I mean, that is basically like it's the same thing as pushing out, I suppose, a very tiny child, right? Like in terms of bearing down. I mean, I'm not saying it's comparable in terms of difficulty or size. I'm saying you've got something in the same space that you're trying to get out. So the position and the gravity are two things that help you. Like just the way your muscles work then make it a lot easier to push it down, in my experience.
Oh, maybe.
But you don't want to do that like on your bedroom floor, obviously.
Yeah, no, right.
So like in the shower is what a lot of people do.
I'll try that and compare. Because also in that 20-something minutes that I was on the toilet, well, the first time was like 20-something minutes. The second time was a full 15 minutes as well. As I'm on there, I'm like changing my position, like leaning back, leaning forward, squatting a little bit, like changing positions frequently. So, I mean, I'm gonna see which one works best for me, but so far it's still anyone's guess.
I legitimately tried to lube it up a couple times.
Oh, right.
It didn't work?
Yeah.
Basically, what that did was just make it super slippery in my fingers.
Oh, God.
Yeah. All right, so do you have any... I feel like we can check back in later in the week to get your full thoughts and then, like, after your next usage or whatever. But right now, do you have any thoughts in summary and have any thoughts or, going forward into...
Yeah, what do you project?
I don't know what I project. Right now, I still think it's okay. I'm probably going to need to use it for a full another period before I make a full judgment. But right now, since it seems like my period's kind of tapering off, this is where I'm confused about. Do you just keep using it to collect what little is left? Or like, is it worth it? And then if there's not a lot for the lubrication, like you said, is it going to hurt even more?
Right.
So we'll see. We really will see.